Hey guys, this is Quito. Thank you for joining me. This is another Invest with Quito. As you know, it's a channel I've started working on developing that consistency, going live, providing value for you guys. And so I try to post like I have one that I post on Mondays, and then I've been doing lives on Thursday, but I'm kind of switching around. So today's Monday, so I figure, you know what, let me play around on Monday. So uh, it's Monday the 12th. So here I am just trying out the new schedule for going live. Just wanted to share with you guys kind of a deal breakdown of the things that I'm working on. So um, one of my deals that I was working with, it's a lady who was going through foreclosure, right? And and so she reached out to us, and literally, she was, like, 3 days, before the auction. So which is I mean, that's pretty tight, and usually sometimes when people go through foreclosures, they go through, like, different stages. They're like, first stage is they go through denial, like, "Oh, this isn't happening." And then they just kind of, it's like, stick their head in the sand, right? And sometimes they would be embarrassed to talk to friends. A lot of times when they're in a financial situation, they don't want people to know what's going on. And and so they kind of put it in the back burner until it gets to the point where it's come to crunch time and they need to do something. And so fortunately for me, this is my opportunity for me to see how I can help. I'm not one to, like, as an investor, like, I believe that we do have a responsibility to, be ethical and do the right thing. 'Cause you hear a lot of investors out there, they really, you hear bad stories about taking advantage of people that are in a dire situation, right? That's not how I operate. Like, for me, when I'm working with somebody, I want them to walk away feeling good about the transaction, and I wanna walk away feeling good because I got a family to go to, I gotta sleep at night, so I wanna make sure that the deal that we do, it's a deal that works for the both of us. Now, back in my real estate days, I worked for a company called Williams, and great real estate company, and one of their philosophies was, um, you know, win-win or no deal, right? If both parties are not winning at it, like, don't do the deal. And I've always really followed that philosophy, is just wanna make sure that, they win and I win, everybody wins. Because where I invest in Billings, it's, population about 130,000 people, so it's not that big, right? And I plan on doing this for as long as I live. So I wanna make sure that I have a good reputation out there in the investing community. Oh, that's my phone. I wanna make sure I have a good reputation out there, and I want the people that I work with, that I buy properties from, I want them to refer other people to me, right? So, in this particular instance, back to my story, in this particular instance, like 2 days before the close date, so I met with the lady, spoke to her, was just very transparent, like, I gave her some options. And usually when you're in that situation, usually when people are in a pre-foreclosure situation and they have time, right? I would advise them, okay, look, you've got a couple months worth of, you know, the auction date. Why not list it on the open market? List it with the realtor because they're going to get the most for their money. And so I encourage them because I want them to really think of me as like very lost, right? So, like, you can list it with the realtor. You can try to sell it yourself. Obviously, um, uh, some people think that just putting a yard in the front of the house for sale that we're gonna sell. Back in the day, you know, when the real estate market was really hot, you could do this. But still, you put yourself out there, you just don't know. It's just Listen with a realtor, you're gonna get more for your money. You get a lot of, you get a lot of eyeballs. They can market your property, okay? So, and another thing too is, like, they can, if they wanna listen, like, have they tried calling the bank, right? Sometimes the bank can work with them. The bank can do what's called a forbearance, right? Basic forbearance means that they can, um, can postpone the payment to, like, 6 months, and they can tack it on to the back of the loan, right? Like, "Okay, I'll give you 6 months, and then hopefully the situation will change, and you can start making payments," and you can do that. So that's forbearance. Another one that the banks, could do is they can do what's called a, loan modification, okay? Back in 2008, 2010 timeframe, loan modification was very popular. Basically, what that means is whatever the loan that you have at that time, it will modify it, right? So all the back payments that they owe, whether that's 5 months, 6 months, I mean, I've seen some for over, like, a year in back payments. What they do is they tack that up into the back of the loan, and they re-amortize your loan. Say that you are paying, say like 6%. I mean, and I've seen them modify so where someone's paying like 4% interest rate. Then they stretch it, to 30 years. So basically, it's not quite a new loan. It's a loan, but they modify the terms and conditions of the loan. So this way, they can get a lower payment, and they can still get to keep their house. Because the truth is, the banks, they don't really want to, they have literally hundreds of thousands of other loans that they, um, that that they collecting money on, right? So and so when a loan costs them more money, the loan defaults, it costs them more money because now they gotta pay attorneys, they gotta pay, someone to go out there and inspect the property. So there's a lot of, it costs them more money to foreclose on the property, so that's why most banks would rather work with the owner, try to keep them, prevent them from losing the house, okay? So they'll try to do stuff like that. So I try to give them some options, like you could do, you could sell it with the realtor, you could call the bank, see if we can get it forbearance, see if we can get a loan modification, right? Um, and then for me, like, I wanna be the last option. If they exhausted their options, I said, "Oh, you know what? Maybe you can borrow money from your friends or family or somebody that could help you get caught up." So if they, it's like, have you sold, have you sell something from the garage, that high ticket item, whatever it is, try to just give them some options to have them figure out, okay, have I done this? Have I done that? And if they haven't, if those are not the viable option, I'm like the last one, right? And and for me, a lot of ways that I could help is, one, I can get them caught up, right? Um, two is I can take over their existing loan payment, right? And this is now, keep in mind when I'm doing this, the seller is actually gonna be, they're gonna be moving out, they're gonna be, you know, they're not gonna be living in the house. They decided that, you know what, um, I'm just gonna take what I can, start maybe downsize or start something. So when I'm, like, I give them some options. So in this particular instance, this homeowner, like, went for, 3 days before the foreclosure. So obviously putting it on the MLS, trying to sell it, in the open market, it's gonna be tough. It's just with time. And trying to call the banks, doing a loan modification that is just, they're kinda too far in for that to happen. So oftentimes the bank just want you to get caught up. So that's what we did with this homeowner. It's like, okay, and she knows that even if she got caught up, that she could not afford the monthly mortgage payments, she would have to downsize. So you have to look for somewhere else to move to that she can afford, because the payments are just too much. So what I did was, okay, here's what we can do. I could I can get you caught up, okay? So what happens is if she goes after foreclosure, she would lose all her equity. That did have some equity, and she would have had a very short time period to move out. So we agreed on a fair price for her home, and I was transparent. I said, "Here, you know, we looked it up online because I encourage them go to Zillow, go to Realtor.com, so you can see what homes would sell for in your neighborhood." So we looked at the price, and obviously her home needed some work. So there was stuff that we had to deduct off for the condition of the property. In the new home, it would sell for this much. Being that it has a lot of work, we're gonna have to take some deductions to account for all the repairs that was needed. Because I told her we're gonna buy it as is. So we agreed to increase the price, okay? And then what we did was, uh, we went ahead and got her caught up, and then we're helping her find a place to move so we could do cosmetic rehab on the place and get it ready for the market. So we agreed to, and I was like transparent. We looked at the numbers, we agreed to the price. So we signed the paperwork, wired the money over the to her bank, and just got confirmation they got the money, and they basically stopped the foreclosure and we were in the clear. Okay? Meanwhile, just after all this, days later, I went to meet with her again, and she had her friend there. And her friend was like, "Give me the rundown," like, was trying to accuse me of taking advantage of her friend, the homeowner. Like, "I'm gonna report you um, to elderly abuse and this and that." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, like, do you know what's going on?" So basically, I told her, "My dear friend, if you call this up because her house was gonna be foreclosure, on Monday," or something like that. Now, you realize if she didn't call us, that the bank would have taken her property. She would have lost out on all of her equity that she would have gotten, and kicked her out in the streets, and she would have been homeless. So who's the bad guy now, right? I mean, I didn't put it exactly that way, but I was, kinda nice about it. So after I was like, "Okay, yeah, you're right," so she's at the end, "Thank you so much for helping out. I'm glad it was you who acquired the property and no one else. I see that you're doing, what you're doing is fair." And then that's the thing, sometimes, when they tell their friends and they don't give their friends all the information, and then the friends get upset and they, like, try to accuse me of doing that. It's like, I have really had to give her to her straight, like, this is what we did. I mean, and she had a lot of equity and she would have lost everything it had gone to the auction. I was able to save her, put her in a better situation. So now she's not in a rush to try to find a place, right? And now she's gonna have money in her pocket. So the deal that we structured was, okay, we get you caught up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fix up the place and we're gonna sell it. When we sell, what we're gonna do is we're gonna deduct the cost to get you caught up is like 35,000. We're gonna deduct that from what would have been your net proceed if you sold it at this price. And I think this year probably like 35,000. We're gonna deduct that. And then um, our price, when we fix it up, we can sell that for, you know, 400 and at that time, $450,000. Okay. Um, we we haven't sold it yet because we just acquired this one, right? But that's the plan is to get her moved out and then be able to fix it up and put it on the market. And we might just sell it as is. Maybe do a little just to clean up a little bit and just sell it as is. for maybe, you know, uh, hopefully I'm sure we probably do like lower 400 or upper 300. So either way, we'll still be able to make a profit and be able to help her out. And she's been looking for a place, but because of the credit and stuff, she's having a hard time finding um, a place to move and to qualify. And so another thing that I thought, okay, you know, how can I help her? Like, what if? And I've been like looking for her. Like, I even found her a place, and that's how I found out that after she um, filled out the application, that she didn't qualify. And most places, I mean, she has low credit score, doesn't make much money because she's on a fixed income, and most places want, like, 3 times the rent. They want a 600 and, 20 or 650 credit score that she doesn't have. So, what I was thinking is, what if I buy another place? I tried having her move to one of my rentals, and she wants something a bit bigger, um, and because this can be her and her brother. They're in their 60s, mid-60s, and, they have a lot of stuff. Most of the places I have aren't that big. So I'm thinking, well, what if I like a mobile home and then I can rent it? Um, I can rent it, to her, because I know how much she makes per month already, and, um, and I know how much she. So that's something that possibly in the works. Is another way to see how I can help you. And I know that, once we do sell the property, she is gonna have some money coming back to her as well to kind of a new start. So that's, then I know it's gonna be easier. I might just buy the mobile home and then sell her the mobile home, and then she can live in it and actually own. So we'll see, how that goes, but for the most part, um, I am gonna see what I can do to help her move into her you know, next property. And in a way, it's gonna help me too, because if she continues to stay that's there, it's gonna be hard for showing, when I show the property, having people go in and out, 'cause when she moved in the house, she's not used to the cleanliness, right? And I mean, there's like, uh, you know, cat urine and feces all over the place and things like that. So, this way, if I can get her out of there, clean up the place so it looks presentable, and it makes it easier for staff. So I mean, it'll help me too. So, like I said, help people and help yourself. 'Cause one of the things that um, I learned years ago, and Zig Ziglar, he talks about, hey, the more you help other people do what they want, you will eventually get what you want, right? So that's just, my philosophy when I'm helping people out, when I'm working on deals is I'm always approaching in a way where everybody walks away winning. And the truth is that, if I'm talking to a seller and they're like really mean to me, like I don't have to work with them, right? Like I can just go work with somebody else. Right? I want to help. I want to help people that can see the value in me helping them out as well. And if they're going to be mean to me about it, you know what? Okay, I'll just go I'll find another seller that I can work with. This is what I see in my mind, right? I don't tell them that, but that's the thing. Now, because as an investor, we get a choice of who we get to work with, and we don't have to work. And I just want to work with who are willing and open, and just have that same mindset. I do like we're in this work together to help solve a problem, whatever situation they're in, because that's where the, as an investor, we make more money the more problems we solve, right? So that's what I do. Just try to solve problems. So thank you very much for joining me for watching this video. If you like and subscribe as I'm growing this channel. So thank you very much. I really see some value in it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.